Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Peace on the Streets radio show with your host, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, Mimi.
What's happening, Mimi? How are you?
The Prince, this background, it's great.
Yes,
this is hip-hop right here.
Yeah, this that old school jam.
I can't talk right now.
Well, thank you, Orlando, for tuning in to Peace on the Streets radio show. I'm your boy, Prince, and we want to thank WOKB for allowing us to be here and do what we do right here on Peace on the Streets.
Absolutely, WOKB, we love you. We got some great news going on.
Yes, we do. We always have some good news going on. What's going on today, Mimi?
At Mustard Seed of Central Florida, I would like to release the update.
Come on.
Mustard Seed of Central Florida is proud to partner with SAFRI, SAFR. It's a new ride-sharing service dedicated to the safety and empowerment of women. The company will provide free rides to Mustard Seed program participants.
Nice.
And its affiliate network from Monday, May 4th through Sunday, May 31st.
Okay.
To receive home furnishing, appliances, bedding, clothing, and more.
What?
To be eligible for the service, program participants must live within 15-mile radius of Mustard Seeds.
One more time, 15 miles, you all. You can't come out 25 miles and can't. It's not gonna work. Stick with the program. 15 miles.
Right. Those that are interested in receiving complimentary rides may contact the Mustard Seed at 407-875-2040. 407-875-2040. And for more information and for full details, you also can go to mustardseedofcentralflorida.org.
I like that. 2 thumbs up to Mustard Seed.
I didn't even know there was a program like this, so I guess apparently it's fairly new. And what they do is just that it's like a ride share service, like Lyft.
Right.
But it's built and catered to women. Isn't
That's
that amazing?
Okay.
For safe transportation and job opportunities they provide for the women to go to work.
Nice.
And for safety.
Yeah.
You know, we always spoke about this. This is the reason why I've never rode an Uber or Lyft. I am too scared. I feel like I'm hitchhiking.
You never know who might be.
They're like, well, the background is secure. I'm like, well, maybe they haven't got caught yet.
That's right. Because stalkers, sometimes they take a long time to start stalking.
Yeah, and eventually they get caught because they have like a trail, of this stuff. I mean, usually they'll get caught the first time.
Right.
But I don't want to be that. I feel like I'm hitchhiking. I'm taking a risk. I don't even know how to do it.
I've done it once.
Have you?
Yeah, I did it at a car dealership, and they called him. And he came and picked me up.
Oh, that's different though. That's from the car dealership.
Yeah, but what they do, they use Uber. This guy, he's kind of
interesting.
He has a contract with them.
Interesting.
So guys, if you do Uber, hook up with the car dealership. So in case good
to know.
And car dealerships, it's good to have them. That way you don't have to pay somebody to do all the driving. They normally have that van.
Yeah, that's smart.
So somebody that's a van driver saying, "Shut up, Prince, you're gonna get me fired."
I'll tell you the reason why I never really took a Uber or Lyft is because my kids. I just can't see myself going into someone else's car I don't know with my kids.
Right.
Maybe this right here might be a change.
Safe, yes.
Yes.
Hey, 2 thumbs up, Mustard Seed.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have a special guest in tonight, and her name is Mrs. Monique Worrell, Chief Legal Officer, Reform Alliance, and she's in the building today. How you doing, Miss Monique?
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
Good. Glad to have you in the building.
I'm glad to be back. Thank you for having me once again.
Yes, being a part of Peace on the Streets. And she's going to be part of our family. And she's going to let us know what's going on in the political world.
Right. I have to figure out how to tag you, Monique, on this live stream right now. So bear with us, guys who are listening.
Yes.
Because we're about to share this feed.
Can I ask her a question?
Go ahead.
Is it okay to start drinking bleach?
I would not recommend it. I would not recommend it. And what's a shame is that you have to ask that in reference to the political world.
No. Oh my goodness. I mean, really? Well, let's start with you first. I'm just saying with him who made that statement. Let's start after him and his family do it, then everybody else will follow.
I'm still not doing it though.
What do you mean? Is this true?
Yeah. He's saying that can knock out the corona.
I mean, bleach can, but it'll kill you. It can knock out anything.
Well, we didn't give him a chance to find out.
There's no chance. Bleach kills you.
No, what I'm saying, maybe he was saying put it in a cup of Crown Royal or something.
Prince.
Maybe put a drop in it with your water.
It will kill you.
I'm just saying, he didn't never clarify.
There's no clarification. If you sip it, you're probably done with that.
I'm just saying, man. The president ain't gonna lie to us.
Wait, the president said this?
Yeah.
I must have missed
Public
it.
service announcement. Please do not drink bleach. Please don't try this at home, ladies and gentlemen.
We're laughing back here. Wait, this is real?
Yeah. You guys, please don't drink no bleach. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Nurse V. And nurse, we're going to ask Nurse V. See, we ain't nurses.
There you go.
Miss Monique, you ain't no nurse.
You're right. I'm not.
You are not
You're right.
no nurse.
My doctorate is of law,
Thank
not of medicine. So.
Okay, so we're going to ask Nurse V. We might be wrong. Right?
No.
We might be. We don't know. You're not a nurse, Mimi.
My mom's a nurse.
Well, okay then. Well, we're going to ask your mama, not you, okay? We're going to have Miss Angela. She'll be calling in.
Yeah.
Miss International World.
Yeah, she's got a huge auditioning casting call for these ladies. Last time I interviewed them was over 51 beauty contestants. I interviewed in the Bahamas, overseas.
Wow.
Beautiful.
I seen
Beautiful
it.
experience.
Yes, it was.
And we're still friends with all these ladies today.
What you say? All right. Sports highlights with Alexa. Our girl Alexa. We're going to talk about sports, some of the good things that done happened, the good and the bad.
I think baseball is about to start.
Is it?
Woo!
Huh?
Yes.
Okay, so we got Alexa in, so we're going to talk about sports. So you guys keep it locked to Peace on the Streets radio show. We getting text in that people saying, man, he trying to hold his girl. He got the candles lit and he has the wine going. It's time to get some love songs in.
Woo!
Right here on Peace on the Streets. Welcome back to Peace on. That's that Keisha Cole. I mean, what? At first, Keisha didn't do it for me.
Really?
Yeah. But then after a while, man, after I started listening to Keisha, she can blow.
Absolutely. She just have a strong voice.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just letting it ride out. So we got our special guest in. And you can introduce, if you like, Mimi.
Absolutely. If you guys haven't tuned in last week, our YouTube now from a series from last week is on our YouTube, Peace on the Streets Radio. Check it out. Our segment is amazing. Did you actually see it, Monique?
I did see it.
What did you think about it?
I thought it was amazing.
We have so many more subscribers that are interested to hear Monique.
Yeah.
So, Monique, please, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming.
Yes. So please tell us about yourself. I want her to introduce herself.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Monique Worrell. I am a candidate for state attorney in Orange and Osceola County, the 9th Judicial Circuit. I started my career as a public defender. I moved on to be a law professor, and I was the founding director of the Conviction Integrity Unit here in Orange County, Florida.
Wow.
The Conviction Integrity Unit investigated claims of wrongful conviction. I was then recruited by the Reform Alliance, that's Jay-Z and Meek Mill's nonprofit organization that's focused on probation and parole reform. And I was the chief legal officer there before coming back to Orlando to launch my campaign for state attorney.
How can I introduce that, Prince? That's amazing. It's impressive.
Yes, it is.
How do you feel right now in your life with the things that you're doing? I've always wanted to ask someone that is, a lot of us are making a change,
right.
and it's such an honor to be a part of it. How do you feel right now?
It's amazing. I have been a defender of the people for over 20 years. And I never saw myself in this position. I certainly did not arrange my life around a campaign for state attorney.
Wow.
But my life kind of orchestrated itself in that way. All of my experience makes me extremely well qualified for this seat and for this position. I'm the only progressive candidate in this race. And what that means is that I'm the only person in this race who wants to do it differently. We've done criminal justice the same way for decades.
Right.
And
yes.
what it has gotten us is an increase by 300% in our prison system.
Wow.
It has gotten us $2 billion in corrections dollars that don't go towards making people better. And it has not decreased it has not caused a decrease in crime and led to an increase in public safety.
Interesting.
So I want to do it differently. I want us to be proactive. I want us to have outcome-based prosecution. I want us to use a holistic approach that looks at what is the root cause for people offending and how can we deal with that root cause instead of sending people to prison to come out worse than when they went.
Right.
So outsource. I like that. I think that's the reason from just personal experience of what we witness. It's we are money. You know? We're just a bank. Like we're just providing money for them. And if I'm not mistaken, each head is money in their pocket. So I don't know if they're supposed to arrest as many to keep their prisons at a certain amount.
Yeah.
We already know this.
Yeah.
And so I'm really happy to hear this. Oh, you're going to make me cry because to be a change in
check.
Florida.
Yeah. And that's what we need.
I got goosebumps, friends.
I mean, we're locking people up. And then they get right back out, like she said, and they don't have, something they
nothing
found
set
us
for
now.
them.
Nothing.
So what do they expect? I mean, if they take it away for years, they lose everything, and they come out with nothing.
Right.
So so they literally walk out, and that's it.
Yeah.
And prison is a violent place. So when you send non-violent offenders to prison, it is a survival of the fittest environment. So non-violent people will go into prison and come out violent.
Yes, they will.
Right? And it's a humanitarian crisis, really, because in order to be a prosecutor, what they teach is to dehumanize the individual that's accused. So they don't refer to the individual by their name. They refer to them as the defendant. And when they're incarcerated, they are still not referred to by their name.
Interesting.
They're referred to as inmate. But then when they return to society, we want them to behave as human beings. When we have dehumanized them and stripped them of their humanity during the process of corrections.
Now, what happens if someone's saying, well, they're felons, they did a violent crime, they don't deserve it?
So we have to look at violent crime and nonviolent crime differently. What I'm talking about right now are nonviolent offenders who we send to prison with violent offenders, and they are housed together with violent offenders, and they, as a result, become violent because they have to be in order to survive in prison.
So you could get a nonviolent offender in prison with someone that murdered is a serial killer. Wow.
That's right. That's exactly right. So you could go to prison for being a habitual traffic offender. So if you have driven without a license too many times and it's now a felony, it's a 3rd-degree felony, so you're facing up to 5 years in prison. And if you go to prison, you will be in the same prison with violent offenders. So
there's no separation. There's nothing. It's just one system.
It's one system.
Wow. This is why I'm so glad to have you on here, because I had all my friends research here, and they're like, we need a new state attorney. I was like, guys, tune in to Monique Worrell, because she's making changes, and they've known about the platform that you helped establish in New York. So it's such a great thing to see a change, and that has occurred in New York. Has it made a change already? Is it in the process, or
so New York
only in that case?
New York is so. Meek Mill's case was out of Philadelphia.
Oh, interesting. Got it.
So Reform Alliance is based out of New York, but Meek Mill's case, which was the birth of Reform Alliance, came out of Philadelphia. So they are working to pass legislation in Philadelphia and in Pennsylvania that will help with probation and parole reform. And the mission of Reform Alliance is to change laws surrounding probation and parole reform across the country.
Got it.
Right? So we're looking for that. But those laws can also be impacted by who we elect as our state attorney.
Yes.
Right? So the state attorney is one of those races where people don't really pay attention to it, but we should, because the criminal justice system impacts everyone.
Yeah.
So we should pay attention to who we elect as state attorney.
Yep.
So I encourage you all to go to my website at moniqueforstateattorney.com and research all of the candidates that are running and see which candidate aligns best with your thought process, with your ideology. And if that's me, then I would ask for your vote on August 18th.
You guys get out and vote. It's very important. And just don't go out and just vote. Make sure, like she said, do your research. I mean, your vote, there's people have died for you to be able to vote. You know what I'm saying? Some of us. And so you should take your vote very seriously and don't just give it away. Make sure you know what their agenda is, because a lot of times people just vote on just color or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know who you're voting for, and then you can hold them accountable for what you put them in office for.
Or they don't vote at all.
You know.
And I think it's just, I don't think it's as strong anymore. And I want to teach the younger people and ourselves, like it's very important, guys.
Yes.
Especially in local elections, because the August primary is a local election, so there's not going to be a presidential candidate on that ballot.
Got it.
And a lot of people will stay home because they don't think it's important. And the reality of it is that your local elections impact you more than the national elections.
Right.
Because your local elections is what's happening here in the place that you live.
Right.
Yes.
So there are going to be Senate races, there are going to be races for Congress, and along with the state attorney's race and the sheriff's race. That's another thing that people need to pay attention to. Who are you putting in office to run the policing agency in your jurisdiction?
Right.
Who is that person?
Yes, and you guys got to keep it locked right here to Peace on the Streets. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more with Mrs. Monique Worrell right here on Peace on the Streets.
You said it, Prince. Yes. She's not so good with names, but he got it.
So you guys keep it locked. And what she's saying is so true.
Absolutely.
You have to know who you're voting for.
It only makes sense. It's your city. It's your home.
Yes.
You will be affected sooner or later, or somehow, in some way.
Keep it locked, you guys, to Peace on the Streets.
Monique is feeling this R&B back here.
Yeah.
She said the same thing. Where did R&B go?
Oh, man. I mean, this is this good party dance. This is when people used to dance. Nowadays, don't nobody dance no more, I don't know if they shy or what. I come from that dancing era. Hey, that's the only way you got a chance to talk to the girl.
Or two-step.
Yeah, I two-step all day. That's all I'm giving you. I'm a two-step, Hey, fall in and fall out, Yeah.
I learned two-step from R. Kelly.
Oh, yeah?
I did.
Okay, well, hey, I mean.
Good music.
It was good. It was good.
That was a good era. Man,
Yeah.
Kelly made a lot of good music.
Yeah, back to back for years.
So,
It was like series with R. Kelly.
the whole 90s, he ran the 90s.
He did,
He
absolutely.
ran the 90s, So we're back, you guys, with Peace on the Streets radio show, and we do have our guest in. How you doing, guest?
Monique Worrell.
I don't know. I feel like family now. I don't feel like a guest anymore.
You are family. Yes, indeed. Yes. And we like that feeling because you come here a couple of times and hey, we all family. We all in it for the same cause.
That's right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Monique, please, again, give a description about yourself. I want our new listeners that just tuned in to hear this.
Yeah, so my name's Monique Worrell. I'm running for state attorney in Orange and Osceola County. I have been fighting for justice in this community and throughout the country for 20 years. I'm really excited to run for this open seat at this point in time. And you can find out more about me and my campaign at MoniqueForStateAttorney.com and on Facebook at Monique Worrell for State Attorney.
Monique, you've made changes.
I have.
We appreciate that. And she has such an impressive resume. I'll be here all night.
Yeah.
I'm going to read it.
I have a sidebar. I have a question to ask you. What is the most frustrating thing about people not getting out and vote? What is the most frustrating thing that you go through that you can just, if you can just take them, just line them up and just pimp slap them?
Yeah, that's a great question though.
I mean, look at the last election.
Yeah.
Right? People don't realize how important voting is, and people feel like their vote doesn't matter. And what you have to understand is that if everyone says their vote doesn't matter and they stay home, that's why we can't impact change. And, people are not really motivated by their local elections. If it's not a presidential election, they don't want to vote.
Why is that?
I don't know, because local elections impact you, the individual,
absolutely
more than the national elections.
I hope you all get that, and we need to post that.
I think that's the reason why Peace on the Streets is making the change right now with bringing local in and letting you guys know how important it is in our city.
It's so
we need
important.
to post that. We need to share that more. About it does your local election. That don't worry about the big one. Worry about what's in your city, what affects you.
So the deadline to register for the local election, the primary election, which will be held on August the 18th, the deadline to register is July the 20th, and you can register online. You can find the link on my website at moniqueforstateattorney.com, and you can also find the link through the Division of Elections website. But it's really important to register, and it's so important to vote.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
And I will send you my I vote sticker.
For sure.
Someone can be like, my girl Mimi.
And take a friend. Listen, make it a thing. Take a family member. Take a friend.
Right.
Make your voice heard.
Yeah. You know, my husband and I actually do this every single time together.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to just make it strong and keep going with it. We encourage each other to make sure we vote. You know, with this whole pandemic, I actually voted for the last presidential. I was really the only one that was out there voting during this coronavirus, but I did. I went in. And it went right back out, went home. And I was determined. I'm voting. Everyone's like, good job, Mimi. But it's so important. And I'm so glad you're here to explain how important it is for the city, for us, how much of an impact. It only makes sense. It's common sense.
Yeah.
And I'm really hoping that we're able to share this and spread this so much further. Monique, again, how can we find your work and everything that we need to know to vote?
So Division of Elections, for everything you need to know to vote, moniqueforstateattorney.com or Monique Worrell for State Attorney on Facebook. For everything about me, you'll see some videos that we've done. You'll see my platform. You'll learn about me as a candidate and why I believe I am the best candidate for State Attorney.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Monique Worrell for State Attorney 2020.
The one and the only, you guys.
Wow. I can't wait till when you get we will be right here.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a celebration.
Yeah, wait, she
sure
can
is.
sit there?
We're going to do the balloon.
And we're claiming it.
Yes.
Listen, and I'll still be back.
Yes.
Yes.
Cake
I'll
and
still
all
be
of
back.
that. Yeah.
That's right.
Just claim it. There we go.
How you feel about Stacey Abrams?
I love Stacey Abrams.
I mean, you guys need to look at Stacey Abrams for running for vice president.
I love Stacey
She
Abrams.
is a serious, you all. So that's our girl, right?
It is. Are we allowed to ask you, who do you feel about any other candidate? Or do we plead the fifth on this, guys? I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I think that's probably not politically correct. But I can tell you guys about this. Today is Denim Day.
What does that mean? Jeans
Yeah.
Day?
What?
So today is Denim Day, and what's important about Denim Day is that millions of people across the world wore jeans today with a purpose: to support sexual violence survivors and educate themselves about all forms of sexual violence.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so if you go on Facebook, you'll see a lot of posts regarding Denim Day, and that's what it's about. It's about supporting sexual violence survivors.
Wow.
Y'all let us see your jeans. Let us see
Never
your
heard
jeans,
of
hey,
it.
you guys. We
Yeah.
love it. Thank you, Monique. Not only is she, running for office, she gives us information that we don't know.
She knows everything.
Yes. So we appreciate you, girl. Facts. We like facts.
Absolutely.
What's going on in the world today?
That's it.
Thank you, Miss Monique. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You guys make sure you get out and vote. I got a couple of songs we got to play you guys right here on Peace on the Streets. You guys keep it locked. Don't change that dial. Right here with Peace on the Streets. Welcome back, y'all, to Peace on the Streets radio show. And that's Maxwell.
My, oh my, oh my.
Oh, Maxwell's is a killer, boy.
Yeesh.
I didn't know how good he was until I went to a concert. I was in Louisiana, and I went to the Essence Festival.
Wow.
I really didn't know this cat Maxwell. Man, he came up, the girls were screaming and hollering and shouting and throwing everything on the stage. And then when he started singing, I was like, man, that's how I became a
Wow.
Maxwell fan. That's been like about 20 years ago. But
So he could sing good live, huh?
man, he killed it.
Wow.
He killed it. So, ever since then, I've been a Maxwell fan.
I hear that.
So we got to wrap this party up, and time it go by fast when you're having fun.
All the time.
So,
That's Peace on the Streets.
Yes. So we're gonna wrap it up with Mrs. Monica.
Monique Worrell. You were so
Man,
good the
I'm
whole
saying,
time.
I've been I knew it was an M. Monique, and I shouldn't forget that because that's what my daughter's middle name is. My daughter's name is Takira Monique Moore. So
that's beautiful.
Yes.
He's like, yes, ma'am. Monique Worrell, thank you for being with us tonight.
Yes.
And you're running for State Attorney Office 2020.
What?
I am.
So please close it for us.
Yeah, listen, thank you guys so much for having me back. This is amazing. There's so much for us to talk about. I love the fact that the name of your show is Peace on the Streets. I hope that we can come back and talk again about how we can actually achieve peace on the streets of Orlando.
For sure.
Claim it.
We need it.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
we do.
And since this lockdown, it's been peace on the streets.
Hasn't it?
Not really.
No. Is that a lie?
Is it a lie?
Well, we got 2 minutes, honey. Give us some other hell. We can wait a minute. Give me. I thought it was peace on the streets.
I thought so too.
Well, you know, over the weekend we had 2 teens murdered.
Yeah.
She's right.
You know,
That's
there
right.
was Dexter Rentz, the 18-year-old who had scholarship plans to head to Louisville in the fall for football. And then there was a 16-year-old who was murdered the next day.
Whoa.
In an apartment complex.
Okay.
He was murdered on Sunday night.
In Orlando.
David Butterworth. So
We doing worse than Miami. Miami only had 1 death in 7 weeks.
Right. So
Wow.
there hasn't been peace on our streets. And I believe that, you know, if we start to employ more proactive practices in our communities instead of reactive, then we can truly achieve peace on our streets. We talked about incarceration. We talked about dehumanization, but we also talked about the fact that when you dehumanize individuals and they come home feeling less than human, the violence has escalated and we have not created a safer environment.
Right.
So in order for us to have a safer environment, we have to be proactive and going into these communities and helping the children to deal with, you know, their issues, whether it be anger issues or poverty or single homes or whatever their issues are that lead to this end result of violence in our communities. We have to be proactive. We have to stop it before it begins.
That's right.
On the back end, incarceration, that doesn't solve anything, because if it did, then we would see a reduction in the amount of violence in our communities, and we're not seeing a reduction. So we have to do something different. We cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a different result.
That's right.
That's called crazy.
Yeah, it is. Good and crazy.
Yeah. And, you know, I've always been told a child is a product of his own environment. So, you know, what you also provide a child is what they can try to manage with. You know, I'm just saying real quick, when I was from up north and when I came up north here just to graduate, the school system that I went to the school was almost like in a poverty status that I've never experienced before. And I didn't have the tools for anything. I didn't have a computer. I was stuck on portables. So please provide more for the children and help them.
Right.
And you will see success. Thank you, Monique.
We'll see you next week, hopefully.
I will be back.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys so much. God bless and good night.
Y'all check us out. Give us your information one more time, Miss Monique.
Monique for stateattorney.com. Monique Worrell for State Attorney on Facebook. Elect Monique State Attorney on Instagram.
Monique Worrell, thank you for being with us tonight.
Part of Peace on the Street. Welcome back to Peace on the Streets radio show. I'm your host, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, Mimi.
Yeah. We have a special guest in today, and I'm so proud to have them in.
Hey.
You know, and it's good as Mrs.
CB says it right.
Airman.
We got now retired Airman Vargas. Yes.
All right, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing good, man.
Welcome to Peace on the Streets, girl.
Thank you for being with us, Airman. Am I saying it right? Airman Vargas. You did it, and we seen you from you leaving to returning. Oh my gosh! You know that I missed my first I was like maybe the first radio show ever I missed was to see you at boot camp.
Sure did.
I went to Texas to see you at boot camp graduation. Was the first time I ever missed Peace on the Streets.
Right. I remember that.
I mean, he even called me in because I just couldn't take it.
I was like so surprised to see you because I wasn't expecting to see you at all. And I
Wow.
was like, whoa, like she actually came through.
Yep.
That was cool.
Took a flight, never been to Texas before. I wanted to see Dallas, couldn't do that.
Okay.
I went out because I wanted to see the Cowboys play. So how does it feel?
To be retired.
To be out, to be retired.
Yeah, how does it feel?
Awkward, a little bit awkward. Like I'm still getting used to it. It's only been a couple months,
Hmm.
so it's like still getting used to transitioning and stuff like that. But I'm definitely getting more comfortable now. But it's definitely like interesting to kind of engage with people since being out.
I can't imagine. Is it not normal to you right now?
A couple maybe 2 months ago, it wasn't really that normal.
Mm.
Like now it's like okay, this is pretty much like the normal. But like in certain situations with like kind of like the common like large crowds and stuff like that, I'm like I don't know if it's kind of normal.
Interesting. So do you think it does take time to adjust, huh?
It definitely does because I'm still going through a big transition myself, trying to like still figure out like this is how kind of like the regular life works again, I guess. Like 'cause
Interesting.
you change pretty quickly, like instantly. Like so it's kind of either like a make or break situation.
So nobody actually helps you guys adjust. You're just thrown back to society, and that's that.
I mean, in a way, yes. The same way that you're thrown in there is kind of the same way they throw you back out. Like I'm not saying that they throw you out like without any resources. They do give you the resources. It's kind of up to
Got it.
you to use it.
Got it.
And especially like for me, like there's people who've been in there for like years and years and years. So when they come out, they have no idea how to live life again. I was blessed with still having a memory of like how the outside life works.
Because you went to college first before you.
Correct.
Wow.
So for me, it was easy to kind of get back into it, but I couldn't like coming back. I was like, man, I can't like understand how people who do this for like 20, 40 years like come back and they're just totally clueless. So it makes sense. Like, cause I know getting out, I was like doing resumes and stuff like that, and I still had like my previous knowledge of that. Some people were just completely lost.
I can
Wow.
imagine.
Uh.
So let me ask you real quick. Are there a lot of people that you feel deal with a lot of
Depression.
anxiety, depression? Do you see that a lot? And there's so many young people. When I went to boot camp, I had tears in my eyes. Everybody would look like they were under 23 years old.
Yeah, right out of high school.
Yes. I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna fight for me. Oh,
Yeah, it's like hit or miss. It's either straight out of high school or I was even partnered up with about 3 moms that were just at the age limit of like 39.
wow.
So they pretty much went back to being controlled, which was, I think that's harder than coming out of high school. So to live a whole life and have a family, then go back to people telling you what to do, like that's
God
kind of
bless
like,
them.
Yeah.
that was interesting to me because they were like our moms for real.
They're the champ.
So yeah.
And they did it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but no, that's for sure. Like, I wouldn't even say I see a lot of people deal with depression and all that stuff because you don't see it.
You don't see it.
You know it's there, but no one acknowledges.
No
it.
one talks about it.
Exactly.
But you think it's pretty
heavy
there.
there. Like my transition that I'm still going through now is actually something I didn't think I would expect I would deal with, especially being like so young. I didn't think it was capable, or I didn't quite understand the term depression because I was like, oh, you can get out of anything, like it's cool, just kind of like push through until you
True.
actually deal with it.
I never really understood it too. I thought that you used depression so loosely. You know, if you get upset, oh, you're depressed. Well, I'm just upset.
I had that same aspect until like you literally face into it, and depression is also very like a real thing. Like it's completely a real thing.
So what's the difference? It just lagers longer? Is that
It's-
from just being upset or sad or?
I feel like it's like a suppression type thing. Like for me,
Interesting.
when I first got into it, I was like, oh, I'm just sad. Like, you know, it's a normal sad, homesick, cool, whatever.
So you don't
And
even
then,
know.
Yeah, you pretty much don't acknowledge it. And then months go by and you still kind of feel the same way. You find yourself sleeping longer and or not doing things you usually find interesting to doing. So for me, I'm a workout head. I always worked out. I found myself sleeping for like 48 hours straight. On the
Interesting.
times that I would be off or something, or like never wanting to go to the gym. I stopped eating for a long time, and it never really hit me until later on. I was like, I think there's like something more wrong. So I would like kind of sit there and kind of seek within myself, like, okay, maybe I just need to go out with friends, or maybe like I need to like kind of clear my head. But 6 months, 7 months, 8 months down the line, a year later, I'm like
Wow.
you'll sit there at a desk and you'll think of things that you've never thought of in your entire life out of the blue. Nothing could occur. You'll just sit there and understand where you're at, and then something will just pop up in your head automatically, and you're sitting there like, why am I thinking the way I'm thinking right now?
Like bad thoughts, side thoughts. So that's your sign then.
That was a big part of my sign, especially when I got deployed. That's where it hit the most, because now you're barely sleeping and you're working like 14, 16 hours a shift, but you're working 3 days straight with 1 day off, and by then 7 hours of sleep
Wow.
isn't like enough. So, your body eventually is going to cancel out certain situations that you need to be healthy. And especially also, like, since I was stationed overseas, I barely got sun being in England. So it's like you don't realize how much, like, sun actually affects, like, who you are as a person for that energy. So
it does. Because doesn't the service get shots in England? Like,
yeah, we actually get vitamin C
because of no sun.
D. Yeah, because of that. Because of that. I was not even gonna lie. I was laughing when they told me that because I was like, no, that's not real. And then like 6 months being in England, I was like,
wow.
I'm starting to feel it. Like I'm starting to understand what they're talking about.
I can imagine. Yeah, they go through all this, and so there is support out there.
There is. You just being. So I was a cop, and so when you're a cop and all that. Like, you're in the Air Force for one, you're not supposed to, like, talk about your feelings, I guess, so to say. But not only that, now you're a cop. So being that plus that plus that, you have to be the tough guy. You can't express how you truly feel during a situation, and that's what a lot of us dealt with.
So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about how you can perhaps get yourself out of this, guys. Right. And she identified, she gave you a description of how to identify it.
Right.
I didn't know that.
We learn something new every day.
That's right.
So you guys keep it locked to Peace on the Streets. We do have Nurse V. She'll be coming up too.
Yes, and ladies and gentlemen, she was on the front line. They sent her and the whole staff out to the testing centers here in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, because we were going to be feeding them.
We were.
We slapped the apple and we were going to be feeding them, but we couldn't even feed them.
We couldn't. We had President Carlos from Spectrum Solar donating to the nurses and doctors, but they just left. The county just took them out of their facility and put them to testing centers in Central Florida. So now they're not even on location. So we can't support that anymore. But we're so proud of them.
Yes, we are. You guys keep it locked to Peace on the Street. We got a love song coming up next.
Hey.
And it's called Half on the Baby. Welcome back to Peace on the Streets radio show. I'm your host, Prince of the South. And we tune it back in to Nurse V. How you doing, Nurse V?
Hey, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. Glad to have you back on.
Same here.
What's been going on?
Thank you for having me on.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I guess the thing is still stay inside. If you don't have no business being outside, stay at home.
That's right. Stay at home still.
So you're a frontliner.
Well, the governor is saying that we're going to start having phase 1, which starts next week. Limiting certain areas, but still the place to eat is still, going out to eat theaters. If you go out to eat, you have to be outside.
Okay.
And it's going to be spaces, he's still saying 6 feet. It's going to eliminate, less people eating. So when you go out to eat, it's not going to be the same like it used to. It's going to take a while for it to pick up.
Okay.
So he's going by phases. That's the governor. But the mayor of Orange County is saying it's too soon to open up Orange County.
So they're going to start opening up with the restaurants.
Right, to go to phase 1.
To sit down, because we've been able to take the stuff with us, but now we've been able to sit down at some of the restaurants.
Right, so he's going to wait a little bit. It could be a couple more weeks. It could be 2 or 3 more weeks before he'll decide to say phase 1.
Okay. How you feel about that? Being a frontliner, being a nurse, how do you feel like? Do you feel like we opened it up too soon?
I think we should wait a little bit because we're still testing. Like I said, there's not still a lot of tests out there, and I was chosen to do the testing site. So, it's still more testing going on. And, they still haven't, they won't know yet until how many continue with people. But they want to make sure that it's low, that it is the flat, before they start opening up little by little. And I agree with the mayor. He's doing an excellent job because, we just can't open up that fast. The governor's saying little by little. He's doing an excellent job, too.
Okay.
But he's saying some it's your choice, the county area, where whatever their mayor want to stay to do. He's not forcing it out. He's just saying Florida state of Florida can start opening phases one by one, but it's up to your county mayor, your mayor of the city.
Right.
So whatever they decide, but our mayor is saying to wait a little longer, and I totally agree with him. and he'll let us know little by little how we're going to do this.
Are you nervous being the frontliner? How nervous are you?
I'm very nervous, but you know what? When you have God by your side,
Yeah.
Whatever you do, you're going by faith, not by sight, and that's what I'm going by. But you do get very nervous, but this is a career you pick, and it does happen. And if someone has to do it, because if we don't do it, how else is going to get done?
Exactly. So, do you be around people that have it?
That's a good question. Have you ever been around someone that has coronavirus?
Say it again. I can't hear you.
Have you been around people that have it?
You know what? We don't know yet because they haven't been positive tested, so we don't know.
Okay.
But like I said, you could be a carrier. The thing is, you have to protect yourself no matter what. You have to protect yourself.
That's it. So keep wearing your mask. And in restaurants, I think are only 25% capacity. They're allowed.
Yeah. You have to wear when we do the testing site, you have to wear your PPE equipment. You have to be covered. That's the face shield, that's the cap on your head, the shoes covered, the gown, the gloves.
So let me ask you, Nurse V, can she hear me? Nurse V, quick question. How do you test us? Do you guys actually swab up our nose?
I can't hear you.
She can't hear me.
She said it. How do you guys test them? Do y'all swab? How you all do it?
We have to use it's like doing the flu test. It goes up your nostril.
Oh.
And it feels very uncomfortable.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Very, very uncomfortable. And then we put it in the tube and we send it to the lab.
Wow.
And it takes 3 to 5 days before they get someone will call and tell them it's positive or negative.
That's it. Nurse V, can you hear me?
Say that again?
Yeah, she can't really hear me too well. Maybe it's my mic right now. I did come in a little late.
Oh, okay.
But Nurse V, I know that you are on the front line. We appreciate you and every one of your colleagues that are out there. We pray for you guys. We see these photos and we're scared for you.
Yes.
But we appreciate you guys because someone's got to do it.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
It's just signing your life away, man.
Somebody have to do it.
Yeah, you're risking your life and you're signing that dotted line.
Yeah.
And they know that.
Right.
So we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Nurse V, for calling in every Wednesday, giving us the update on the coronavirus.
Thank you, Nurse V. We appreciate you. We'll have you back on again next week. One more thing before you go. What would you like to tell the American people before we hang up?
To stay at home, still stay safe. Wear your mask wherever you go because it's still not over yet.
There you go.
And honestly, we're gonna probably be wearing our mask for quite a while.
What?
I got one, so I'm ready.
Too. I have 3 or 4 of them.
Nice.
Keep it locked, you all. The peace on the streets. That's our girl, Nurse V. We appreciate you, sis. God bless you and stay safe.
Woo.
Thank you. You guys be safe too. God bless you too. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Mama. Yeah. That was a jam back in the day.
I grew up with Toni Braxton because of my mother. She absolutely loves Toni Braxton.
Yeah, Toni, she be jamming.
Yeah, that's a passion right there.
Yeah, and I guess she's finna get married to your boy from Cash Money.
What?
Yeah.
Birdman?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, Birdman made $200 million. A lot of people say they want to marry him.
But she doesn't need money. It's not that. It's got to be love. She's got the money.
Said she love him.
I'm sure.
That, but it's crazy. Have you seen them together? The thing?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
But like a lot of beautiful beautiful women, they kind of like little bad boy image, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
But if you're still a bad boy, forget about it.
Yeah. Hey, you all, we have our girl on.
That's right, Air Force men, now retired.
Miss International.
Marcus. Oh, Miss Angela?
Yes.
Miss World International herself?
Yes, she is.
Yes, Miss Angela.
And that happens to be one of my favorite songs, Toni Braxton.
Is it? So
I totally love that song. I could listen to that song all day.
All day.
That's one of them jams. I love it too.
So, Miss Angela, are we still going on the cruise from Miss International World?
That is such a great song, and
she can't hear me.
You know what? One of these days I got to come on that show and sing that song for you guys.
Shut up.
Miss Angela can sing, right?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Miss Angela, tell them your background real quick, because she can sing.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I was a trained singer. I had a degree in opera. I can sing almost anything, but opera is really where my forte was. That's basically where I was trained.
That's amazing. We have to bring you on to sing opera. That right there, those vocals for opera, that's it. Strong. You have to really.
Yeah.
So, Miss Angela,
I'll tell you, I was so glad to hear today that I think they're getting close to some medicine that's going to work for this COVID-19.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be great news because, I mean, it's still not a vaccine, but it's called Remdesivir or Remdesivir, if I'm saying it correctly. And as a matter of fact, I was on that medication going way back, and within a matter of hours, it could clear out your lungs.
wow.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah, and the other medicine that they're doing some clinical trials with in New York is famotidine, which when I got a stomach virus this past winter, my doctor put me on that. It's an H2 blocker, and it will block acid and anything trying to get into your lungs. And the minute I took that, now it's actually Pepsid, which they're telling people just don't run out to the store and get it. Because in order for it to work, first of all, you have to have a doctor's prescription. And when you're in the hospital, they give you an IV, but it's always a lot more milligrams. But in clinical trials in New York, that particular medicine has worked. So I was in my kitchen today looking at that bottle. I said, oh, my God, my doctor's got to be a genius because that's what he put me
Wow,
on.
we already knew. So they're coming up with the plan. I already know that soon we'll be taken care of.
Yes.
But Miss Angela,
Exactly.
the cruise is still going on with Miss International World, with Bahama Paradise Cruise Lines.
Well, I got some, I'll be honest with you, yesterday I was on a great conference call with the cruise line, and the plan that they have come up with to keep everybody safe is absolutely amazing. I mean, the way the vice president that put this together, he should really write a book on it. I mean, in the beginning, when they do start sailing, they're going to have to close 2 decks. They don't know about shows because, trying to they don't want to have too many people on stage at the time. But that ship is going to be sanitized 2 to 10 times per day. You're going to be able to pre-order your food so that you don't have to wait online.
Wow.
They're going to retrain the crew. They're actually going to bring in the Army Corps of Engineers to redo the entire air conditioning system because they made a very good point, is that viruses sometimes tend to get into the air conditioning system.
Wow.
And being that that is a public place, just like a hotel, and if God forbid someone did have the virus or someone even had something else, it could actually get through the filtering system. So they're going to redo all of that. They're also going to do temperature checks for people, the crew, every day, and for people on the ship. But in the beginning, they're not going to sail to capacity in the beginning. They're only going to sail to half the capacity. So that's one of the reasons why we keep going back to them every year, because their safety first. They take all the passengers into consideration. They take me into consideration, and I was pretty honored to be, on their call yesterday and part of that task force.
That's amazing.
So I think we're going to work out a special plan for my show, which next week I'll probably be able to announce that. So we've got a lot of great things coming up. My girl from India, who is also my director, was just on a major television show in India. In fact, it's a shame because India is on lockdown for another 30 days.
Interesting.
Yeah, but they're starting to flatten the curve there, which is good. But she's been on a lot of different shows, and she's keeping things alive. And as a matter of fact, Mimi, I do have some exciting news for you. In Intermodello magazine, you're going to be getting a special banner on their page, Peace on the Street.
What?
I have a special page with them, so I made sure that you're gonna you will be advertised in that, and also when we come out in the Belgium magazine, there'll be an article on you there. So we are definitely promoting peace on the street.
Oh, so that if I didn't say it again, Miss International World,
Yeah.
Miss Angela. And the reason why we mention a lot of these things is that we are partnered with them. We're a media for Miss International World and Miss Latina International, where I've actually went overseas and interviewed over 51 beauty contestants. It was an amazing experience. It's so inspiring. They're so strong and confident, and I want to share this with other women because it's just about your confidence, about carrying yourself. You can take over the world when you have that confidence, and most of them are business owners. So we appreciate being on this platform. Miss Angela, again, guys, check out our page where you can see much more about her, the organization, and how to submit for casting.
Yes.
All right, Miss Angela, CEO of Miss International World. Thank you, Miss Angela.
Keep it
Thank you,
locked.
my dear. Guys, have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back, you all. Welcome back to Peace on the Streets radio show. I'm your host, Prince of the Sun.
And your girl, me.
It's one of my favorite topics of Peace on the Streets.
Sports.
Yeah, it's sports talk with Alexis. How you doing, Alexis?
I'm doing so good. How are you?
We're good. Glad to have you on.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. What's going on in the world of sports, Alexis?
Well, have you guys heard of the All In Challenge?
No, this
All-In.
again with the challenges, Alexis.
Well, this is actually for athletes. It's not really for us, but
Interesting.
so it's a website that you can go on, and athletes are encouraged to post or donate an item, and then anyone can go on the website, donate money, and they raise money for the coronavirus.
Oh, no way.
And Tom Brady is actually one of the guys who donated. He said that he would do a dinner or workout, and it would be after his first home game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as well as the person would get tickets to the game, his jersey, and cleats.
What?
You know how much money that is right now?
Sweet.
Yes. And the auction went off, and it closed last night, actually, and it netted $800,000.
800,000.
Yes.
Wow.
Good for him. I like stories like this.
Yes. Go ahead, Tom.
Wow.
And a lot of other athletes have actually been doing it as well. Peyton Manning he raised $525,000 for 18 holes of golf and dinner for 10, with Super Bowl winning with him.
Hello.
So
What?
Remember when he beat Boston every single time?
Yes.
and also Russell Wilson joined in, and he donated a double date with him and his wife.
How cool
Right?
is that? That
I
is
thought
so
that would be really
them. Oh, it must be so much fun.
Yeah. That's good. I like that.
That's
And
so cool.
it's not only just athletes that are doing it. Meek Mill also donated his Rolls Royce Phantom,
Meek Mills, huh?
He donated that?
Nice.
and it raised $320,000.
Wow.
Sweet.
And
Wow,
a
big
game
ups.
of horse and courtside seats with Magic Johnson,
Nice.
Veteran.
golf with Bubba Watson and Denny Hamlin.
Wow.
And
Playing golf with them?
yes,
They're going to kill us.
Boy, ain't that some good network?
Isn't it?
Huh.
and the auction is enter to win. It's a fan experience, and you can go on to allinchallenge.com for your chance.
You know
to
what?
Win.
Fine. This is going to be the first challenge I've ever done. You sold.
Yeah, there's a lot of big things up for grabs.
That's amazing. What is it again? How can we get
It's
into the
called
challenge?
allinchallenge.com.
That's it. Allinchallenge.com. Prince, we got to try this.
Yeah, we got to do one. We can do it, sir.
Amazing. I think I would die if I actually get to go to meet Tom Brady, sit in the seats, get his jersey and his cleats. That's it.
Right? Craziness. It's so crazy.
I accomplished myself. Amazing. Alexis, I don't even know how you find this information out, but it's just, I love sports. And now that it's not active, I feel like we've lost a lot. I feel like there's nothing going on.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
seeing so
really
many
sad.
highlights. I'm tired.
Yeah, for sure. Replay after replay after replay.
He's like, the Kobe game again? When he killed Orlando? Oh, my dogs are going to show the finals.
We might need to do a challenge
Yeah,
where they can
that'd
come
be really
in to
cool.
Peace on the Streets and then hang out with us, come in the station, and then have a good time.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, we're
Great
going to do our
idea.
own challenge.
You know what? I'm going to have Alexis figure this out.
Yeah.
She's good with this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to do our own challenge.
Yeah.
Kicking
Okay.
it with Peace on the Streets for 2 hours. Be our personal guest.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you can
rock
say as
it.
you wish, but keep it clean.
That's it. And have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love it. What else in the world of sports, girl? What
So,
else?
as you guys know, the NFL draft was this past weekend, and Roger Goodell is actually going without pay during the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, he actually requested it last month, and it's just now being brought up. So I thought that was a really cool thing for him to do in order to pay other people that need it a little more.
Wow.
In case you all don't know, he runs the NFL.
Yes.
He's the commissioner.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's great.
Huh.
Yes.
And the draft this year was way different than normal years because because of the pandemic, there wasn't a huge audience. So they actually were filming everyone in their homes, which I thought was a really, really unique experience.
Wow. I missed it.
It was really, really cool.
Wow. So they're surrounded with their loved ones.
Yeah,
That's even better.
They had them record some of them. I'll tell you some of them because I wrote down some notable moments that I just thought were really different and cool. Actually, Roger Goodell, he on the second night of the draft, a lot of people were comparing him to a picture of Cookie Monster because he was just relaxed, laid back in his lounge chair.
No way.
just
How
hanging
funny.
out. Yeah.
That's how he celebrated. I get it.
Yeah. So, Arizona Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury had a war room. It was really epic.
Huh.
His house looked beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous. But a lot of people were saying how bare it was, and it was just very, very basic. And then Cowboys owner Jerry Jones was on his $250 million yacht. And I think my favorite image that I can think of throughout the draft was Mike Vrabel, Tennessee Titans. He had a Tennessee Titans banner hung up in the background, and his children were dressed up as the Tiger King, Frozone, and there was a girl who I'm not really sure what she was doing. I think she was pretending to be on a toilet. It was just a very, very
characters.
I saw that one.
That's the characters.
Yes, I saw that one.
Can we see this or is it over? Is there replay? Can we?
I can pull up the picture. I probably still have it up.
So Alexis is going to give it to us, and we're going to share it on Peace on the Streets Facebook page. Mm-hmm. We're going to share this, guys. So check out Facebook.com Peace on the Streets Radio.
Yes.
Share with us, Alexis. How interesting!
We appreciate you, girl.
Hey.
Sports Talk with Peace on the Streets. And our girl Alexis, we'll see you next week. You guys tune in next week to Sports Talk. Alexis keep us updated on what's going on in the world of sports. Thanks, Alexis.
You're
Great
welcome.
job, girl.
Yes.
See you next week. Welcome back, y'all, to Peace on the Streets. I mean, time flies when you're having a good time.
Always on Peace on the Streets.
Yeah, we're going to wrap this part up, you all, with our girl, the Airman.
Vargas.
Hey guys, pretty much I just want to let y'all know, no matter what you're going through life, especially the situation that we're going through right now, please do not be afraid to seek the help that you absolutely need. It's going to be painful in the beginning, but if you do not participate, you cannot get better. And that's the main thing. And I actually got told today, one of the biggest things I want us to end with was, you will face many defeats in your life, but never let yourself be defeated, no matter what. And with that being said as well, going into it, I also want to give a quick shout out to a recent Ocoee High alumni, Dexter Rents. He was a football player and a signee to the Louisville college football team. Lost his life, unfortunately, by gunfire. Not even targeted to him, but I just want to give a shout out to him and his family.
Yeah.
Once a night, always a night. I attended the school, walked the same halls, and it's sad that only certain of us can accomplish our dreams. And I just want to give a shout out to his family, prayers out to him, and blessings up to Shaq for actually paying for his funeral.
Right.
He reached out, and that's crazy.
So whatever the mother wanted.
Whatever the mom wanted.
Rest in love, young
Bless
man.
up.
That's out here in our city. We're sorry, And just, guys, come on, man. What are you thinking?
Yeah, put the guns down.
What are you thinking?
Put the guns down, you guys, and go home. Ain't nothing to do at night. Just go on to the crib, you guys, and stop killing one another. We out of here, you guys.
That's it. Don't forget, the saddest thing is wasted talent or wasted gift that God has given you. Go full force or let fear or intimidation stop you. Buenas noches, Alexis. Thank you, sports. Airman Vargas, congratulations for being home.
Peace on the
thank you.
street.
God bless.
Late night, feet up, ride round, still up, peace on the streets. You gotta listen to peace on the street, kicking it with Prince.